Mahalo to Kamehameha Schools in association with Hawaii Pacific Health and Honolulu Theater for Youth. Aloha, I'm Auntie Lacey, and these are my co-hosts, Walter and Keiki from The Highway.
Welcome to the Keiki Council!
Now, this is a show just for you, the Keiki out there. With the help from our friend Dr. Chuck from Hawaii Pacific Health, we're gonna answer all your questions.
Today's topic is going back to school.
And we know that school looked a little different last year for some of you. So I think we may have some questions about what to expect at school this year. Let's start with our first question.
Am I going to be safe going back to school?
That's a great question. I know that some Keiki have been going to school and others have been staying at home. What did Dr. Chalk say about Keiki being safe to return to school?
Well, Dr. Chuck said our community leaders, school leaders, and our families would not have us return to school if it was not safe. Your teachers and the adults who love you are doing everything they can to make sure that you're safe at school. If you're feeling worried, you should always talk to the adults in your home. Who do you talk to, Keiki?
I always ask all my questions to Tutu.
Great! Ask as many questions as you need to, and everyone will do their best to answer them. They might not know the answer to every question, but it is helpful to talk to adults around you so they can help you feel less worried. Plus, your school will also be taking extra steps to keep you safe.
Here's another question.
I miss my friends so much. Is it okay to give my friends a hug?
I agree, and I am so excited to see all my friends again too. And I just love giving hugs. Walter, what did Dr. Chalk say about hugs?
I love hugs too, but right now Dr. Chuck said it is still better for us to share our aloha by giving a shaka, an air five, or just waving hello. Let's practice.
Shaka!
Air high five!
Or wave. It's important that we mālama or take care and protect each other and make sure that we are all staying safe.
How come some of my friends aren't going back to school?
You know, that's a very good question. Walter, what did Dr. Chalk say about that?
That is a really difficult question to answer, but Dr. Chuck did her best to explain this to me. Some families are choosing to continue to do their learning at home, and every family has a different reason for their decisions. The main thing for all of us to know is that our families make the best decisions for us.
That's right.
And so your friend's family has made the best decision for them.
That makes sense. The Keiki Council!
Mahalo to Kamehameha Schools in association with Hawaii Pacific Health and Honolulu Theater for Youth. I love all the questions we're getting on the topic of going back to school.
Me too.
And if you have a question for the Keiki Council, have your parents or guardians email your video questions to community@hawaiinewsnow.com.
Now let's ask more questions.
How come we can't use instruments in music class and sing?
Mahalo for your question, and what an interesting one. What did Dr. Chalk say about instruments in music class and singing?
So Dr. Chalk said that the coronavirus is spread through something called respiratory droplets. It's a fancy way of saying tiny pieces of flying spit.
Ew.
And sometimes when we sing or blow into certain musical instruments, we breathe out tons and tons of tiny spit particles. So to be extra safe, some schools have decided to stop singing for now, or have students stop playing certain musical instruments.
Hopefully, soon we'll all be singing together again.
When will things go back to normal at school?
I think a lot of Keiki have that same question, so mahalo for asking. Let's see what Dr. Chalk said about this.
This was a hard question, and Dr. Chalk said she didn't have an exact answer. But she does know that day by day things are getting better. Thankfully, many people in our community have been vaccinated, and we all have been doing a great job of following the directions of our community and school leaders. If we all continue to ma'alama or care for ourselves and each other, we should be back to normal soon.
Mahalo, Walter, and also Dr. Chalk, our doctor for the Keiki Council, who is helping us answer all of your questions.
Hello. That's Keiki Council.
Mahalo to Kamehameha Schools in association with Hawaii Pacific Health and Honolulu Theater for Youth. On this episode of the Keiki Council, we've been talking about going back to school. We had a lot of great questions today.
And we learned about the best way to say hi to our friends again, and why some musical instruments are put on hold for now.
And how all our community leaders, your parents, your teachers, and your school are working as a team to keep you safe.
Back to questions.
What should I do to get ready to go back to school?
Oh, I used to love getting ready to go back to school.
Going back to school does sound fun. Dr. Chalk said the first thing you and your family should do is to get back to a regular routine. You can start by going to bed early and waking up early. Then practice getting ready for school.
Like packing my backpack?
So that when school starts, you have the routine down. Also, this year, your family should check your mask supply. Make sure your mask fits comfortably and that they're clean and ready for school too.
And don't forget, we still need to wash our hands for 20 seconds. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0! Remember, you can either count to 20 or sing the happy birthday song twice. That's Keiki Council!
Mahalo to Kamehameha Schools in association with Hawaii Pacific Health and Honolulu Theater for Youth.
Dr. Chalk said a good hand washing should take about 20 seconds.
15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Keiki, Walter, and I want to thank all of the Keiki who participated in this episode of the Keiki Council.
We had so many great questions.
We sure did. And we also want to thank our friend Dr. Chalk from Hawaii Pacific Health for helping us answer all of our questions.
If you have a question, have your parents or guardians email us your video to community@hawaiinewsnow.com.
Now, let's review our action items about today's topic, going back to school.
Number 1, practice going to bed early and waking up early for school.
Number 2, you'll be excited to see your friends again, but shakas, air high fives, and waving are the best ways to greet them.
That's right. Number 3, don't forget to listen to your parents or guardians and teachers because they will do their very best to keep you safe.
And what else is important?
Laughing!
Roll that blooper reel!
What did the skeleton say at dinner?
What?
Bon appetit.
Be silly.
It's so funny. What is that? Oh no.
Next time on the Keiki Council, we'll answer all your questions about differences.
And Dr. Chalk will help us understand why our differences makes all of us so special.
And if you have a question or a blooper, have your parents or guardians email us a video to community@hawaiinewsnow.com. Ahui ho!
Ahoy ho!
Mahalo to Kamehameha Schools in association with Hawaii Pacific Health and Honolulu Theater for Youth.